the Spurgeon Study Bible. Welcome to Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan, our monthly review of Bibles and study Bibles. And today we have a treasure, the Spurgeon Study Bible. Now, the Spurgeon Study Bible is produced by Crossway, who are the producers of the Christian Standard Version of the Bible, which just happens to be my favorite version of the Bible. And when I heard back in 2017 that they were coming up with a Charles Spurgeon Study Bible, I thought, wow, I can't wait to get my hands on that. You see, Charles Spurgeon was a preacher in London, England in the mid-19th century at the great Metropolitan Tabernacle. Thousands of people would come to hear Charles Spurgeon preach. In fact, you may have already met Charles Spurgeon in your reading if you use the morning and evening devotional series that has a devotion in the morning and the evening, because it's all written by Charles Spurgeon. One of the things was he was a prolific writer. There are scores of writings like the Treasury of David and the Spurgeon Sermon Collection. Well, what Crossway did for us is they took some of the best of Spurgeon's quotes and insights and placed them alongside the biblical text in the Spurgeon Study Bible. This particular Bible is really nice. It's a leather look, which means it's not actual leather, with a brown stripe in the middle of it, and I like it. But what I really like is the contents, and let me tell you why. If you come to the Christian Standard Bible, it'll give you an introduction like it does in all of their versions, but there's also a preface. And the editor of the Christian Standard Bible is a well-known preacher, Alistair Begg, and he's got wonderful notes in here as well, but most of the notes are the notes of Charles Spurgeon. And so Genesis, for example, the introduction to a book like in Genesis, it shows the circumstances of writing, the contribution to the Bible, the structure. Spurgeon on Genesis, that's written by Alistair Begg. But then on almost every page, you see the handwritten notes of Spurgeon alongside his Bible that he preached from. That's pretty valuable. And I mean, the man read his Bible and thought about it quite a lot, exhaustively. But what's interesting is if you like reading the script of his own handwriting, that's cool. But also in the notes, in a green font, is the actual writing of the script writing if you have issues reading it or you just want to read it in a little bit easier text. And so that's a nice feature of this Bible. Every once in a while, you find a whole sermon outline of Charles Spurgeon alongside the passage that he'd be preaching from, and a copy of that sermon itself. So it's really fantastic, especially if you like a little history and you like his content, because I'll tell you something, Charles Spurgeon loved the Bible and he loved Jesus, and it shows up in all of his writing. Another thing that the Bible does for us is it has a biography of Charles Haddon Spurgeon. If you don't know, if you've never taken the time, it's a short, like 3-page biography. And let me give you this quote from his biography. It says, Spurgeon famously observed that the Word of God is like a lion. You do not have to defend it, but need only let it loose, and it will defend itself. He was convinced the Word of God can take care of itself, and that the answer to every objection about the Bible is the Bible. Well, I just love that. And so anyway, another thing that it gives you, which I think is absolutely fabulous, is Spurgeon, an index to all of the Spurgeon quotes within the Bible. If you make sermons or teach a Sunday school lesson or a small group lesson, this is invaluable information for you. And it's right here in the Spurgeon Study Bible. There's also a listing of several of what's called the lost sermons of Spurgeon that frankly aren't lost anymore, and the notes that we've already told you about. Let's look at something else. To go further in the Bible, here's an introduction to Job. just like in Genesis. So you have 66 different book introductions with each book that are appropriate from the way that Spurgeon would have looked at his Bible. And then when you get to in between the Old Testament and the New Testament, you also have a basic salvation, right? Salvation sermon right at the front of the New Testament, because the New Testament's a victory lap. So if you like reading morning and evening with Charles Spurgeon, you want to get the Spurgeon Study Bible. And there's one other thing that this Bible has in it that's just fantastic. And, you know, it has a great concordance, but it also has maps. Thanks for watching Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment below about other Bibles you'd like for me to review, and we'll see you at the next review.